Hi, welcome to the Shelley Studio. Today I'm doing the 25 Days of Christmas, and it's day 3. And right here I am using molding paste to create some dimension on a couple of pieces of paper that are going to turn into silver bells. It's a light molding paste. I haven't had it that long, but I think it got a little air in there, and so I end up with like random dry spots, unfortunately. But I'll go over this a few times. I decide it's too thick and I have to take some layers down and make it just a little bit dimensional, not quite so thick. I'm just going around the edges, kind of cleaning them up. I have the bell-shaped pieces of paper are actually taped to my deli paper so that they won't move while I'm scraping with the palette knife. Which it was kind of helpful. I kept forgetting that I had done that, and then I could put more pressure on it than I was. Yeah, it's late. And I just keep taking layer, skimming more and more off, just to get it trying to get it kind of smooth. And so one bell will be facing me, and the other one is facing away. So I'll try to represent that. That was a big dry spot that just kind of drug right through the middle of that. Pulled out another piece of dry molding paste. Alright, and I put some curved lines in with the backside of a small paintbrush, just so that you can kind of see the way the bells are curving. And then I just wet my finger and rub on it a little bit, trying to smooth out all the surfaces. I'm not that skilled with a palette knife, so lucky to get that far. And then I remembered it needed a little bell thing inside, so I used the little excess that I'd done and make a little round ball and squish it on there. Now I'm creating the background while that other is drying, and I'm using those again, Prang color wands that I found at the grocery store. So I'm just putting a little blue on it and some red. I was hoping for a little bit of purple with the blend, but I didn't get too purple. And I don't know where these guys that are doing these index cards get their index cards, but mine are like super thin. So there it curls away. And I'm using a baby wipe to blend it, and it's making it a little damp. I decided it needs to be even darker, so we're going to add some more blue, and I rub it down, trying to rub it. And the baby wipe's a lot easier than rubbing it with your finger. And I decide I want to darken the edges, and since the paper's so thin, I'm using my Distresser applicator to put some of the black ink. And it is still damp, and I should have waited for it to dry, but I didn't want to take that long, so I'm just going for it. And I decided there's some white there, so I want to fill that in. I don't want there to be white spots. I like all the blue. Put some of the red back in. Blending that with an already dirty section of the baby wipe to just try and keep the color and not to take any off. So now that that's dry, we're going to come back to the silver bells, and I'm just lifting them off, and then just to make sure I got all the molding paste off around the edges, because I'm going to apply a little bit of blue paint to create some shading to give them hopefully more dimension. I'm going to shade it across one side. I get that far and I go to do the next one, and then I realize, oh yeah, that one's going to be sitting behind the other one a little bit. So we want more shading so that it looks like it's behind. So I'm adding some more blue. Okay, and now that the paint's dry, I'm using some Inka Gold in the silver, and we're going to make some silver bells. So I'm just applying that with my finger. I figure that's the best way to do it. I think I got a lot more silver on the top bell than the back bell. But that's how it should be, right? Okay, so here's our background. There's the one bell. And I'm using a golden gel medium to glue these on, and I'm not putting it on the front, just on the back. So I put that on and then I decided I need a bow, and I'm sorry I did not record that process. I just took one of my jelly print papers and cut out the shape of a bow, inked around it so you could see the ribbon lines. I did kind of wet it so it kind of shaded, but I'll do a little more here in a minute. So we're just gluing that on. I always end up with sticky, gooey fingers, so I always push things on with the back of my hand. And this is a Derwent Inktense in black. I'm just going around the edges, just so everything stands out a little bit more. I'm just getting my, I decided I needed to put some on the ribbon part itself. Add a little water to that and activate that. So I use just my water brush, just activate that all the way around. Help it stand out, I think. I did make one attempt that you don't see to put that Inktense pencil on the bells. That did not work at all. So we'll have to come up with something else to kind of create some shading between the two bells. So I get just a little bit of black craft paint and just lightly go in here, maybe a little bit more. Oh, actually, I used Payne's Gray. This was Payne's Gray rather than black. Oops, had a little too much on there. We'll just rub that off. I guess I have one a little more dark on the bottom. And now we're going to add our words. We're writing Silver Bell. I wasn't thinking when I did this, but the bell is going to be kind of hard to write because I can't touch the other word, so I have nowhere to set my arm for balance. But didn't do too badly. And there we have it, Silver Bells. I'd like to thank you all for watching. And if you did like it, please hit like. And if you want to see more from me, subscribe. Thank you.